Board games are some of the oldest forms of entertainment for a group of people to have fun when together, with every board game having different rules, mechanics, and setups from each other, with many having little to no overlap in terms of, well, many things. But with newer forms of entertainment for groups of people starting to pop up all over, the board gaming culture needed a way to bridge the gap in entertainment value. Come with 1998 with the release of Mario Party, a brand new way to experience the wonders of board gaming was upon us. Mario Party allowed for 4 people to play using the Nintendo 64's 4 controller ports. Using these ports allowed for each player to pick their character, roll the die, play minigames, and all sorts of stuff when landing on the different spaces. The way I can best explain why this was innovative for board gaming as a concept is with a comparison to the game of life. The game of life, bless its heart, prefers to tell, not show, with most of its events. It will tell you did some job, it'll tell you that you got evicted, it'll tell you that you got paid. But Mario Party, in the format of a video game, allows itself to show the player all of the games and events that occur, and allow you to feel much more immersed, so to speak, in this board gaming world magic something. This game would go on to start a whole new genre of games, aptly titled party games. However, these party games rarely would cover board games that didn't use a board, and if we did get one, it was just be a card game or something. And not the fun ones you play with a group of friends. Card games and lower setup time games in general were heavily underutilized across the board when it came to representation in the video game format. Games like In a Pickle or Cards Against Humanity for 2 good examples. Well, that was until the Jackbox Party Pack first released. Now, for the uninitiated on what a Jackbox Party Pack is, here's a little rundown. Jackbox Party Packs are a compilation of 5 different party games all contained within one application. And as long as one person pays for the pack, they can host it as long as they want for up to 8 friends. When hosted, those with the join code can join the party and the host can start the game. Each party pack has different games of different genres, with many packs having one of each obligatory genre each. With those being the drawing games, the trivia games, a fill-in-the-blank game, and sometimes a teamwork-ish gaming game. But with there being 4 main types and 5 game slots, each pack has 1 dupe of each game type, give or take. And some games are a combo of 2 genres, like how Fibbage has you filling stuff in and triviaing. Now, generally, these packs will set you back around 20 bucks or so, and knowing this, I saw a sale for every single pack on the Epic Games Store, and I knew what I had to do. I didn't say what I had to do was any good. Sometimes Jackbox Games will release a standalone game similar to the one in a pack, which I will cover those when any future packs have that where, that's just the case. But that's a later thing. Now, I'm not being a contrarian when I say Jackbox 1's selection is pretty lame. Like, generally everyone reveres Jackbox Party Packs for being some of the best party games out there, but those same people will tell you that Jackbox Party Pack 1 is not the one you should start with. Man, Jackbox game looked like fun. I'm gonna start from the very first entry, like I would any series. Even in the visuals, which these packs are usually cheered on for, despite the quality of any game on their own, are not all here in this entry. Like, say what you will about the Google Doc one, but at least it has some 3D visuals. Despite the first one not being that amazing, packs like 2, 3, 7, or whatever other great ones are generally really amazing, and I would bring them to any gathering. These are coincidentally the packs that include Quiplash. Regardless, I would be quite the fool to choose to start talking about the series from any of these other entries, as starting with the second one would just be kinda dumb. With this being the hand I'm dealt, I suppose I have no other choice but to play it. Now, like I said in the beginning, each pack has certain games of certain genres. For example, Spud has us filling things in, and Drawful has you drawing. This is only an issue when you look at 3 out of the 5 games being of the trivia genre, which is a bad thing, because, at least in my opinion, games of the trivia category usually leave a bit more to be desired. And here it is, all the more apparent. The games included in this pack include Fibbage XL, Swatter, You Don't Know Jack 2015, Drawful, and last and definitely least, Spud. One of my favorite aesthetic quirks of the earlier Jackbox Party Packs that they've sort of abandoned over the years is having all of the games be represented by really convincing fake board game boxes. Like, yeah, if Spud was a real game, it'd totally end up looking like this. And costing $1! But I don't think that them moving away from this design was inherently a bad thing, because they were definitely limiting in some capacity and creativity and such. But still, these earlier packs and their designs are all the more charming than the later ones, at least in my own opinion. Also, last thing before we get started, each one of these games will be ranked out of 10 on the Jackbox Good Game Score, and will be averaged at the end for the pack's total score. And without any further ado, let's just play Fibbage. Okay, so for all the Fibbage apologists out there, I now must give my spiel about why I do not care for the Fibbage, but I have to sound very corporate so people don't think that I'm hating on Fibbage. Fibbage has 4 entries. 4. Now, I'm fine with Jackbox games getting sequels, because they're usually of the games that are universally loved, but Fibbage, if you're unaware, is a game where one person picks a category of trivia, and then a trivia question is asked to all players. Each player will then give what they think is a plausible answer that they will think people will pick when the question is able to be answered. Then the fake answers and the real answers are mixed together, and everyone will then be able to answer. Points are given for being right, and for people picking the fake answers you gave. So there's an incentive not to pick the wrong answers, so you don't end up giving your opponents points. And also incentive to know your stuff when it comes to trivia, making it one of the few fill-in-the-blank trivia Jackbox games as a result. Now with this synopsis, you may be thinking that, maybe I could see this getting old after the 2nd entry. But I'll just talk more about my Fibbage grievances when I get to later packs. I think another reason Jackbox Co. loves Fibbage so much is because it's one of the few standalone games they had pre-party packs, hence the XL in the title for this entry, differentiating it from the original. But I won't be talking about the original because I love being happy. Anyhow, now I'll talk about other Fibbage 1 stuff. For starters, the visuals, while bland, fit the whole trivia smart guy aesthetic, if that makes any sense. Also, like any trivia game on Earth, some of the questions feel a little dated after a few years after the game's release, but in this game it's not that bad as other old trivia games, because, you're actively not really supposed to know the answer to any of these, you're supposed to give answers you think will be the answer. Either way, there is certainly fun to be had in this game, and I won't deny that. So I'll give it a 4 out of 10 on the Jackbox score, and just so you know, no other Fibbage will pass that. So the goal of this game is to put a very plausible answer.
Mine is very plausible.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna see like Ohio show up as like one of the options. Yeah, Skibidi. Oh yeah, that's real. That's real clever. Okay, it cannot be wood chipper because he would be dead, and I don't think they would do that. If it's cheese grater, please don't be wood chipper. Please don't be wood chipper. That's evil.
Oh.
Why would they do that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, he wasn't alive for all 10 of those seconds.
It was definitely
Maybe it was his hand or something. Like,
dude, what is wrong with the people that made this game?
Small.
Yes,
Oh,
money.
the fun guy.
Oh,
Oh.
not fun
Almost.
part.
Where?
Shut up.
It told me. I typed the truth.
Looked it up award. Finally, you get the looked it up award.
Fingernails in your fucking head.
I didn't.
Everybody who
Because
knows more
I-
trivia than me just looked it up. That's the truth.
I
Where?
know.
Dude, that trophy is so ugly, man.
It's just the grabby trophy.
To talk about Swatter and why it is the way that it is, you must first talk about its history. Jackbox Games, before making the pack, started off by trying to have in-theater experiences that people could interact with on their phone. However, these plans would fall through after the movie theaters realized it's way more profitable to run ads than let people play games on the silver screen. However, what was left of this game after that would be repurposed into what we see on Jackbox Party 1 today. And then 2. In summary, in Swatter, after you join on your phone and the game starts, a random big bug will show up with a trivia quip. Then on your device, you have to decide whether it is a truth or a lie. I personally enjoy the whole fake trivia thing because it's very easy to say something that sounds like a real trivia fact, but is actually just complete bull. And the visuals themselves are pretty nice. I think the little bug guys are very cute. Anyways, if you decide on it being true or false correctly, you get points, and this applies to everyone in the game. Whoever answers first also gets a little bonus. And at the end, all the points are tallied together, and the winner is crowned. Pretty simple, but what makes this game different from every single Jackbox game ever is the player count. You see, 90% of Jackbox Party Pack games have a max player count of 8. What makes Swatter different is that it can have up to 100 different players playing at the exact same time, which is probably some of that old movie theater code still kicking around in there. But besides that, this game in general is standard affair, so I'll hit it with a generous 4.5 out of 10. Now I would like to preface, the reason none of these games are going to get anything high of a rating is because I have the context that future packs are pretty dope. The lion mane jellyfish has the longest— whoa!
Whoa. Sneaky Jackbox.
Fuck it.
Okay, what the heck? This first pack was kinda cuckoo.
Yeah.
Nah, I call bull on this one. It was a PS5, I remember it.
Oh,
I don't know.
I almost believed you. Then I remembered.
Remember the PS5 didn't come out back then? They were too busy in 2010 by being exploded. They were too busy that year.
I don't know, maybe they had some time to do side
There's
quests.
too many animals.
Iran
that
would
they
have not
just
had the
for no reason
time.
at all.
Okay, they were too busy being blown up every other day. With this being another one of those, it was a standalone release before the first party pack trivia games, which I have 2 nickels for, but I'm nonetheless surprised it happened twice. It falls into the same pitfall of issues I have with Fibbage, but at least with Fibbage it's pretty easy to have some fun with the systems it has in place with the whole lying thing, because inherently, lying's pretty fun. So the issue with You Don't Know Jack is that there is no gimmick. Like sure, there's the screw ability that exists, but it's very nichely useful. Besides that, this game is just a trivia game. Like it doesn't even need multiplayer at that point, because the players hardly interact, and the visuals are just a gif of colors with cinematic bars. Okay, so anyways, I give this game a 2.5 out of 10. I'm sorry to all 2 of You Don't Know Jack fans out there, it's just not for me.
I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your
What?
turn, Bieber.
Did he just ask for Curious George, the monkey, to get
That's the end
deported?
of round 1. And player 2 is in the
Yeah,
lead.
I guess so. Chat, he's literally the yapper. He's literally yapping so much. Literally yapping.
Of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world.
I just won that, guys.
The San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers
What?
of Little Red Corvette and the Wreck of
I picked the
Edmund
worst wrong
Fitzgerald.
answer, and that means I won that.
Today's wrong answer of the game is accompanied by an 8,000
What?
cash bonus. Have at it.
No.
What?
No. There's no way.
I won the entire game for picking a stupid answer?
Why not try? Let it go.
Scape sucks so bad.
Maybe go in
You
now.
got it like rock.
I want to lick and roll
Please.
all
Oh.
night.
What?
What?
If kisses
Wait, what?
of Gene Simmons'
Freaky.
tongue grew to the average length of an
Why is
adult
it so
giraffe's,
freaky?
how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches
What?
deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep,
What-
or
what is
about
the
30
question?
inches deep.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest.
That's you.
The narrator of this game show kind of a freak.
I don't know either. I just saw a lot of people losing money too.
Dang it! Panda, or Zomster, you're walking home with $57.
How the hell did you come on the top and still be on the bottom?
Now this is where it starts happening. Drawful is one of the 2 original games made for this pack, as well as the only good one. Drawful being the drawing game that every pack must contain to be a real party pack. Drawful fills this elusive drawing game role very well, at least in my own opinion. Going for the visuals first on this game, they're okay. The crinkly paper background with the only real color being that of what each player is assigned, which helps to have every player stand out and gives it a pretty chill vibe at times. As for the game itself, once every single player joins, they will get assigned a pen color that all their drawings will be in, and before the round starts, every player even gets to draw themselves a profile picture, which is such a nice little touch. I wish more Jackbox games would do this, honestly. Anyways, each round starts with every player getting a prompt and then drawing it to the best of their ability, with them usually coming out crude because lack of an eraser and the color palette being just one color. And then the real game will begin. A player's drawing will show up, and then each player will write what they think it is. Then the player's answers and the real answer will all show up together, and everyone will answer out of that pool. And if you get it right, you get points, and if people pick your fake answer, you get points, and dang it, this is just Fibbage again. Despite a lot of things being similar between the 2 games, I just get a lot more enjoyment out of this game than it, but maybe it's just because I have drawing game bias or something dumb like that. And most of the good things I have to say about Fibbage apply here. What? Lexi.
It was a last minute decision. I had like 1 second.
Okay, what
Oh.
is that?
Just 4 lines.
What?
What?
What is twooping?
There's no way.
Oh, you can't.
Okay, I'm very glad it wasn't twooping because that's crazy. I'm actually goated. I'm actually goated. I'm actually the greatest at
What?
this game. I'll say you
Got
guys.
nothing right.
What?
What the fuck is this meant to be?
Construction worker?
It's architect.
Architect.
How?
No worry, it's architect.
How does that work?
No one got it.
Who is brown? Who is brown? Anyways, this game gets a solid 7.5 out of 10 on the scale. Now, before you ask, yes, this will be the highest score today because I'll be dead before I give a good score to... I don't know what game would be better off to end this video than my least favorite Jackbox Party Pack game of all time. In this game, you put the word or phrase that you think closest relates to the recently said word or phrase, and then other people in the game will let you know if you're a moron or not by voting on if that pick was funny or not. And if it's funny, you get points. That's it. The only thing I really like about this game is that while someone is trying to come up with an answer, you can send what you would say in that scenario to give the typer ideas or let them steal your joke. If the word gets the majority vote for good, then it'll serve as the start for the next person, but if not, a random word will be what the next player will have to work off of. I'm trying my best to make this game sound interesting, because it just isn't. There's no wonder why Word Spud 2 has been a running joke in the Jackbox Party Packs. It's just nothing to write home about. 2 out of 10.
That's the first thing.
Alright guys, we're off to a really bad start.
Indeed.
It took you guys like 5 seconds to come up with something funny to say.
It's
Erman. Oh gosh. Somster, I don't really know how you're gonna continue this.
Don't worry, I got it.
Ermanderfish? So Isaac, I'll kick you from the call.
aww.
No one is allowed to talk bad about Caden. Oh, actually, I might, yeah. Panda?
What, Panda?
Panda misclicked on something, that's all I'll say. Dude, I have references, that's all I have.
I know that one.
Dude, all I have is references.
No.
The sun is a deadly laser.
I hardly know her.
Come on,
You're
guys.
unfunny.
Come on.
Uh,
How do you start? How do you continue all of that? Hey, guess Chippendale, Enderman fish, Durfish, fish, our friends not food. Is Caden is funny. Meow, 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 meow. Sun is a deadly laser beam. Over the hedge. Yellow, high on life. I hardly know her. In summary, this pack clearly has a lot of growing pains when it comes to this sort of new age of party game, but that doesn't make this pack bad at all. It just makes it a little poorly aged is all. I still think this pack has some pretty solid fun to be had though, don't get it twisted. This sentiment carries throughout every single pack, even if there are some stinkers. And with all that said, this game averaged out a solid 4.1 out of 10, which may sound bad, but once you see how high later packs will score, you'll see why this is the way it is. And there's so many great things about these packs that make them great I've yet to talk about. I mean, the music is always great, and the UI on the devices are pretty clean, etc, etc. But I think I'll talk about all those things next time. Thank you for watching.